So, TLDR, or didn't watch. I haven't uploaded a video in about 7 months. The reason for that is because my health has just kept getting worse and worse and worse. But then I went and I uploaded my entire medical history to an AI and I asked it to figure out what was wrong with me. And it worked. And that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. So, a couple of disclosures beforehand. Of course, I'm not a doctor. ChatGPT isn't a doctor. Claude isn't a doctor. Most of these things are in fact not doctors. And so I think it's really important to take everything they say with a grain of salt. Remember that AIs can and do make mistakes a lot and often. And so I think that it is helpful to have tools like this to better understand, for example, what your test results actually mean, how those things actually affect your health, or like how different medications help, like just getting a better understanding of what's happening, why it's happening, and that kind of stuff. Now, from there, depending on the amount of data that you have, the information you can give the AI, and the way that you kind of have these things set up, the AIs can then also give you recommendations as far as things that you can do in order to help improve, your health situation in general. And that's really what I did. So, that being said, like I said, don't trust AI with everything, but use AI as a consultant, as a helper, as an assistant, and as kind of like a step between you and your doctor in order to make sure you kind of understand everything's going on. So don't sue me if you try this and like something weird happens. That's what I'm trying to get to here. Now, that being said, I have been dealing with these health issues now for about 5 years. My energy levels just sucked previously. I gained a ton of weight.
What kind of beacons they're using, right? I mean, you're probably talking about something like the Estimo stickers, which are $10 a pop.
I just felt bad all the time. I had a ton of just mental fog. Could not think straight, could not concentrate on anything. I went from easily working 10 plus hours a day to barely getting through 2 or 3 hours a day. There were days where I could not work in general, right? I couldn't do it. And obviously, that's not great when you're self-employed and the primary breadwinner in your household, and when you have 2 employees. And so, needed to do something. And things just kind of kept getting worse and getting worse and getting worse. I've been to a ton of doctors, been to a couple different hospitals. I think I'm up to 6 doctors now, 3 different hospitals, and just nothing seemed to help. Like, there are things that would be like partial help, things that would kind of help a little bit, but then, it would help for like a week or two, and then it would just kind of crash. And I'd go back to feeling not only like garbage, but I felt actually worse than I did before. And, on top of the physical and mental stress that puts on you, then there's also that emotional, you kind of get your hopes up thinking, oh, maybe this time I'm actually going to feel better. Maybe this time it's actually going to work, only for it to then not, right? And so it sucked. It was not a fun experience. And so what I did is, having access to all the AI tools and systems and platforms and resources and everything that I have, I decided, you know what? Well, if the AI is able to help me optimize and improve businesses and client stuff, maybe it can help me fix my health stuff too. So, that being said, I went and I downloaded my entire medical history off of my hospital's website, and I took that information and I uploaded it into ChatGPT and into Claude. Now, I have access and had access at the time. I think it's open to everybody now. But at the time, I had the exclusive super duper access to ChatGPT o3, Mini, High, and Deep Research. And so I gave it the entire medical history. It's like 50-something pages of PDF, doctor's notes and everything, test results, all of it. I gave all that to ChatGPT, and I said, all right, look, go out, research all this, figure out, what these things actually are, figure out where these things are coming from, tell me what's wrong with me, and then tell me how to fix me, right? And it did. It took a long time. I actually let it run overnight, and then had it go out and clarify a couple things as it was going through, or as I was getting results back, I'd have it go out and double check specific things, look for, studies, research, all that kind of stuff, and then bring all that back and then form a super report, right? And basically it was like 40 something pages saying, okay, this is exactly what's wrong with you. This is exactly what your doctors have said about it. This is exactly how it's affecting your health, and this is exactly what you need to do to fix it. It's like, cool. And so I took all that information and I actually loaded that into Claude. It's on at 3.7. It was 3.5 at the time, because it's actually my favorite AI. So I created a project over there, and I'll pull that up here in just a second. Create a project over there, and I said, look, here's the entire report. Here's all the information. I want you to act as my health consultant. Like, I understand you're not a doctor. I'm not asking you to be a doctor. I just want you to kind of help me work through this and then create some sort of structure framework in order for me to kind of move forward and implement some of these things that this research and like all this research and all these other things have suggested that I do. So I did that. I think I did that a month ago, 5 weeks ago. February 11th. And today's March 14th, so a little over a month ago. And the effects have been really, really, really interesting. The results have been very interesting. I feel significantly better. I have a lot more energy. I am sleeping better. I am more mentally clear and coherent. I am just feeling better all around. Better better mood, everything. My patience has improved. My concentration has improved. It's just been really nuts. So, I'm going to show you guys like the actual setups for all this stuff. But in case anybody is curious on what the AI has actually said, it's interesting because I gave my my Claude version of this my health records as well, and it was actually really interesting. They said, look, it's actually really clear what's wrong with you. In my case, it was viral infection, COVID, that led to some metabolism issues and mitochondria issues, and just increased stress and all this other stuff. And basically all that led to just a ton of inflammation and a whole bunch of other little minor things, right? And what they both said was really interesting. They said, look, it's actually very clear what's wrong with you. The issue is that these notes and everything and all these test results are spread out over 5 years in 6 different doctors in 3 different hospitals. And so it's difficult for any human to sit down and read through all 50 pages of this, whereas an AI can do it in a couple of seconds, and it can find all those patterns, it can find all that information. And so right now I'm in phase 1 still of all this, and I'll show you the phases here in just a second as well. But most of phase 1 right now is trying to lower stress, trying to work on inflammation. It's like the main thing that it's been having me do is like cold exposure, cold plunges, and those kinds of things. Unfortunately, I live in frigid northern Utah, so that hasn't been super difficult. But like I said, I've been doing that every morning now for about a month, and I've lost, I think I'm down 15 pounds so far. And like I said, everything's just working better, and I've been very impressed. I'm very happy with the results, and because of that, I wanted to share kind of how this thing all works. And so I have been talking now for 9 minutes straight. Let me show you how this actually works. All right, and this is the actual interface. So this is where all the good stuff happens. So one thing to keep in mind, though, if you want to do this through Claude, now I'm kind of at the point where I just don't care anymore, and so I wasn't super concerned about security or anything like that. So I took my health records and I uploaded it. But I haven't found, and it might be hidden somewhere, I just haven't noticed, but I haven't actually found a way to tell Claude or tell Anthropic, hey, don't use my stuff to train your models in the future. With ChatGPT, where I also perform this task, I do have that option, so I'll show you that real quick. If you click on your icon up here in the upper right, settings, and then data controls, improve the model for everyone, you can turn this on or off, and then this will make it so that way the content that you upload, any data or data you provide, will be safe and secure, and you won't have to worry about that. But like I said, I kind of at the point where I just didn't care because I felt like garbage and I needed to get things moving a little bit more quickly, and I just prefer Claude overall because I find that it is it's smarter, right? It does a better job of communicating with me. So, like I said, first thing I did is I uploaded my medical records. I got this off of my main healthcare provider's website. And then I have been going through and adding updates and little bits of information, and just kind of letting the AI know how things are progressing, and then also, any challenges that I'm running into, what kind of adaptations I need to make. And then also, as I've been going through, like one of the main things it's been recommending that I do are cold plunges. And so, my, time doing that keeps improving. So I started out like 5 seconds. I'm up to about 8 minutes. I think I did 10 minutes yesterday. And then, trying to better understand, what's the science behind this? How does this actually work? And all those kinds of things. And then also, as I'm adding in more time, should I just, temperature levels, like all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of just been answering a whole bunch of questions for me. And then I just had to go through and redo my recovery phases and my daily routine just so I can show it to you. So I am at phase 1 right now, which is stabilization, which is really just stopping the problems, right? So these are the routines that it gave me. Again, primarily looking at things like, controlling cortisol, fixing my circadian rhythm, and then trying to re-stimulate my metabolism so that it actually starts working again. And then phase 2, which I should be starting here in a little bit. So phase 1 is supposed to last like 4 to 8 weeks. Like I said, I think I'm 5 weeks into this. Phase 2 is where I start working on not just stabilizing, like stopping, the bleeding, right? But then actually starting to rebuild systems and then, build stuff back up. And then phase 3 is optimization. That's where I'm actually going through like rebuilding muscle and getting into all the other cool stuff. So, so yeah, that's how that part works. But like I said, it's been incredibly helpful. And then what I'll do for these updates, what I'm doing is I'm actually just coming in here, I'm chatting with the AI, I'm explaining what's going on, providing it with the update, asking for feedback, and then I just grab the entire conversation, and then I really, like, you can just copy and paste information right into the AI's memory, like that. And then that way it remains part of the AI's ability to, to use and come back to and answer questions for you. Now, the initial process for this, again, looking at the ChatGPT O3 Mini High side with deep research, is I gave it that summary. I said, okay, trying to figure out what's going on. I could use some fresh set of eyes, and just kind of gave a whole bunch of information. And then it asked me a couple of questions to, just to clarify stuff. I answered those questions, and then the AI just went nuts, and it answered, like, just did a ton of research. And then on top of that, I also go through, and like I said, I asked it some additional questions, some additional follow-up questions. I had it go through and find more research for me, more documentation. I actually went through this a couple of times. That's why I'm just showing you this one. But it's suggesting that I also look at some other stuff as far as like, making some adjustments to my diet. Actually, because I'm not eating enough. It wants me to eat some more like nutrient-dense type foods. But then the other thing is working on my gut health stuff, because it thinks that could also have a big impact on this as well. So yeah, that's how all that works. The other thing is I did take, like I said, all of this research and everything else that deep research did for me, and I dropped it into, I believe it was this chat right here. And so it has all that information. It has all that reference data and everything else. So that way, again, it's not just making stuff up. Hopefully, it's actually pulling off of not only my own actual medical history, but it's also pulling out or basing its recommendations on all the research and the data that deep research was able to collect for me. So again, it's been really, really cool. And like I said, it's been helpful. I actually feel a lot better, and I am making progress, and that's something I haven't felt in a long time. So again, I thought this was really cool. I thought this was really helpful. And I think that this can be a very valuable resource and tool for a lot of folks who are kind of dealing with some of these long-term chronic health issues. So, and again, just for context, so I was diagnosed specifically with chronic fatigue syndrome, and I forget what else. But basically, it was like long COVID, right? And so I wasn't able to get anything done. Nothing else I tried that actually helped. And so I figured this would at least was worth a shot. So that being said, if this is something you'd like to learn more about and try, again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not pretending to be a doctor. I'm not suggesting that you follow everything that the AI says. Like, the stuff that I'm doing is very low impact right now, like cold showers, waking up not necessarily earlier, but like getting sunlight exposure, those kinds of things. It's made sense. It's been helpful. But, if you wanted to try and do something like this for yourself, if you wanted to, to experiment with it, again, check with your doctor, run all this stuff past your doctor too, just because, again, don't want to get in any kind of trouble with that. But if you are doing that, let me move my recorder over to the other screen. then if you do have any questions about this kind of stuff, then come and check out my Facebook group, ChatGPT Cult. This is free for everybody. And then also, if you're looking for a little bit more advanced help, then we are launching this sometime this week. In fact, we don't even have anybody else in here yet. But this is my high-level community. And so I've been dropping in all of my courses, my guides, all the extra information, tools and resources, and everything else that I've been working on. There's a lot of stuff in here. We also do weekly calls. See over here in the events. And so what these weekly calls are is we actually all hop on a Zoom call for an hour or two every week. And then we'll either we'll go over all of the new AI stuff that's happening in the industry. And then with the remaining time, so usually it takes like 10, 15 minutes. And then the rest of the time we actually work on whatever group projects are going on. So for example, if you wanted to build an AI like this for your business or not your business, excuse me, if you wanted to build an AI like this for your own health, or if you want to build an AI for your business or some sort of an automation or whatever, and you're having trouble with it, well, then we will sit down as a group and we will help fix it. And that's what these things are. There's some really, really cool and helpful and smart people in there, so it's been really neat. And like I said, these are all, we'll open this up real quick so I can show you. I went and I have been uploading all of the past videos in here too. So that's just this last week. Let's see here. Oh, and they're gone now. We also have AI crash courses. So like what makes the AIs different, like what's the difference between each of the models, like prompting guides, all that kind of stuff, custom GPTs. That's that one right there. It's like how to make all those kind of things, again, for your business and stuff. So I'll try to make this as super valuable and helpful as possible. This is going to be a paid membership, but we're trying to keep it accessible for everybody. So if this is something else that you're interested in, definitely come and join the Facebook group, because this is where I have been talking about all that kind of stuff and getting ready to do all the big promotions. So that being said, let me switch my computer back. That being said, my name is Tristan. I am an AI nerd, and I hope this video has been helpful. And I am especially curious if you have done something like this, if you're thinking about doing something like this, or if you do this, after watching this video. I am very curious to hear about your experiences. I want to know, how well the AI was actually able to help you. I want to know how, if it was able to assist with, just understanding all the notes that your doctor's sending out. We've even given this, these kinds of systems to veterinarians, and even the vet was like, oh, this is actually really awesome because I'm trying to explain this complicated thing, but it's difficult to explain it. So being able to take an AI that can then take that complicated process or this complicated, whatever, and break it down into, give it to an infinitely patient person who can explain it to you. There's just been a lot of value on that too. So like I said, if you've done anything like that, like I said, if you want to try this system out and try it out for yourself, let me know how it goes. I'm very, very curious. I'm actually very fascinated by all of this part. And I think this is really one of the most valuable things that AI can do for us. It's just helping us live and feel better. So that being said, like and subscribe. I'm going to be uploading more videos now. So hopefully we won't go for another 7-month famine of YouTube content from Tristan. I think next week's video is going to be about some more Asian stuff. So that'll do it for me. Have a good one.